Hide on your, it's just a little dirt.
Hello, welcome to another Motivation Monday. I know last week I did not do a video, so I definitely owe you guys one on Friday. It's been a little crazy. I have my last exam tomorrow, so I'm super excited about that. So if you guys just want to keep me in your prayers, that would be amazing. So let's just jump right into this. So last week we talked about forgiveness. Last week we talked about forgiving other people, and I was kind of gave you guys a little bit of a spoiler about what I was going to talk about this week. So as I was saying, I'm such a different person than I was like 5 years ago. So much of a different person than I was 2 years ago, 1 year ago, a month ago, a week ago, even like I said, an hour ago. Sometimes I feel like I'm a different person than I am an hour. Like if I spend time with God, just reading the word and just being in the spirit, I feel like I'm a different person completely. But I still have a past. I still have things that when I think about still cripple me. Still I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe I allowed somebody to do that to me. And I felt like when I was starting a lot of things I've started, I was like, all of these things are going to hinder me. All of these things are going to crush me, and I won't be able to move on, and and that's a lot of death talking. That's a lot of self-doubt. That's a lot of not believing I have purpose. But even though I knew that, I was still crippled. I learned a big thing was that I had to learn to forgive myself. And I think that has been the hardest journey of forgiveness that I've been on recently. Just being able to confront my past, confront things I've done, confront things I've said, and be like, there's enough grace for that. And of course there were small things like when I gossiped about people or when I was really vengeful, but there were bigger things. That was being the hardest part for me, forgiving myself, actually having to look in the mirror and list all the things that I felt guilty for, that I felt shame for, and being like, there is enough grace for God for that. And I think it's going to still be a learning process because I am not perfect. I don't believe anybody on this world surface is, except Jesus Christ, our homie OG. But all of us are still working on salvation. All of us are still working through things. I think some people that I've hurt, or some people that I've done bad things to, there will be a time in my life where I'm confronted with that person, and I have to apologize, and I have to be able to have forgiven myself to be able to do that, because I am somebody who holds on to everything. I'm really trying, and the Spirit's really working to allow me to let things go, but I hold grudges, I hold pain, I hold hurt, I hold a lot of stuff that I wish I didn't. And I feel like as I'm learning to forgive myself, I'm releasing those things into God's presence. I'm legitimately casting all my worries, all my cares, all my past onto Him. And it says He cares for me. So it's a learning process, and so I'm just kind of here to talk to you guys about forgiving yourself. So, I'm still working through it, so I'm just going to give you tips that I have. First, I would say write it all down. I'm a huge journaler. I actually still haven't done this yet. I'm a huge journaler, and I believe when you write things down on paper and you see it, the enemy has no more hold on you. You know what he's just in your good times, he's just throwing things at you, and you're like, I already wrote that down. So you just write it down, and I think I would just lay my hands on that and pray for it and be like, God, these are all the things that I have no control over anymore because they're in my past, but they're still affecting my future. And so God, I just need you to give me the grace and the peace and the love to understand that you are bigger than these things, and that you have forgiven me already. You got your son on the cross. Woo! Jesus died on the cross to forgive every single one of these sins, so you've already forgiven me for this, but I can't even forgive myself. And just lay those at the feet and be honest with God and be honest with yourself, being like, these are things I'm still struggling with to let go of. So that's my first thing. And then the second thing is I would just, and I haven't had time to do this, so I'll definitely be doing this week, so you and me will be doing it together. I'm just going to take myself out. You know? I'm just going to take myself out and just look at myself and be like, we have come so far. And be so thankful to God that we have come so far. I feel like I'm going to take myself out, not for me, but to thank God. To just be like, I am here because God made a way. I am in front of this camera talking to you guys because God made a way. And if He's made a way this far, He will continue to make a way. And I truly do believe that my past, God is going to use that to help other people. And my past, God's going to use that to propel me forward. It's not meant to cripple me. It's supposed to empower me to do better. And to know that all things work together for my good. All things. That means the good, the bad, the ugly, the terrible, like all of those things are going to work out for my good if I lay it at the feet of Jesus. So I'm going to take myself out and thank Jesus in advance for helping me and for like giving me a brighter future. The third thing I would do is, if it is on your heart to apologize to that person, I would take that step and apologize. Not so that you can, not because you need them to forgive you, but because you need to release that. You need to release it and be like, okay, I've apologized. I have done all I can. So this is no longer a hindrance to me. I can no longer live in a world where this is going to cripple me anymore. Yeah. So those are my 3 things that I would do, that I still haven't had time to do, but I'm still working through a lot of it. And I just want to tell you guys, like, gosh, there's so much forgiveness in Christ. Like, forgiveness comes from Christ. There's enough grace. And I'm going to play the song. The song that's going to play in the beginning and the end is going to be called Worth It by Lecrae. I went to his concert. Y'all, if you didn't go to his concert, I'm so sorry. He came to Toronto. He killed it. I'm going to post a little bit of that video at the end of this video, you know, just so you guys can see how great that concert was. But it just says, it's just a little dirt. It's just a little stain. Don't worry. You're still worth it. You're just going through a thing. And every time I hear that, I cry a little bit because I might not be going through something right at this second, but I've been through it. And I've seen it. And I know that there is grace at the end of it. And there is more grace and more abundance for every single thing we're going through. And I know I'm not perfect, so I know I'm going to go and do things that aren't going to make me happy, aren't going to make God happy in the future. And I'm already working towards forgiving myself for those things because I know it's going to take me a little bit of a while. But just know that there is grace enough for all of your shenanigans. And just look in the mirror and be able to forgive yourself, because hurt people hurt people. No, I'm sorry. Look in the mirror and be able to forgive yourself, because God has forgiven you. Because the God that controls the whole entire universe has forgiven you, and He loves you and has purpose for you. So do not allow your past to cripple that purpose that God has for you. So guys, I just want you guys to like the video, to subscribe, to share with every single person that you know that needs this to learn to forgive themselves. And I just want you guys to know that I am thinking about you, loving on you, and praying for you. I'm praying that you just learn to leave your fears and your worries and your doubts and your shame at the feet of Jesus, and that He will be able to meet you where you are. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
That hurt don't make you a leader, then it don't hurt no more. can't get worse no more. Can't pursue all these desires, it ain't cursed no more. No more lies about my worth no more. I understand the thoughts of suicide and do reside, but when I stop and think about my family, I feel new inside. I promise I would die 1,000 deaths for a cause. It hasn't lost its worth. And we are fearfully and wonderfully made. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to believe a lie.
It's just a little.
Believe a lie that
It's just
when you fail, now guilt's looking at you saying, look